back. Go back. Good dog. Cody, go back. Good dog. Good. Good girl. That's a good girl. Oh, good. Good. Did. Good dog. Good dog. Real fun. Good. All right, we're back at it. Gonna work on some more back casting. Cody is pretty sensitive, so I'm gonna be real careful not to correct on something that isn't the right time to correct it. Yesterday I took her and worked her through some fields with pretty heavy cover, and I realized one thing that started out she was struggling with here in these mowed strips when I first got her back about 5 days ago was just sending out on a line. She would go out and she'd hunt short. She'd hunt just about to the distance that you could throw anything for her. So I think she had that in her mind of this range. I also think it had to do with her being, she was pheasant hunting the last several months with her owner of the season. I think they said they shot over 700 birds over her, flushed and retrieved. So she had some real good exposure to some upland work late in the fall and through the winter and even into the early spring at a game farm. But I think what that's done is we've ingrained in her a range for her to work in and for her to understand that everything is found within that range, and that's shotgun range. So now we're asking her to extend out even further on lines, and she's having a little bit of an issue with it. So when we did it in these mowed strips, we were able to get her back to that old habit of running lines to make picks. Remember, she's going to be a gun dog, so we have her as in here to do some handling work, starting out with back casting. And for her, that inability to get past that distance is really hanging her up. So yesterday I worked her. I didn't do handling, but I took the dogs through some heavier cover, waist-high grass and some stuff that's kind of thick. And I left some trailing memories for her. I laddered them out thinking I could extend her line similar to what we did here in the mowed grass. She struggled with it a lot. So just the idea of going through a little bit taller cover and grass, it was almost like it was a lot of weight. It was a lot of friction that she couldn't get through mentally to push through. So we reset up, and I ended up moving a lot closer, and she'd get a fine, and then I'd move closer, she'd get a fine, and then I would lengthen it out as a single memory. She did pretty well with that. So we have to get past this idea of her hunting through cover, hunting through short stuff. We'll do the short stuff first, and then we'll go into the cover. She wouldn't handle in cover. She would just feel stuck because of I feel like the best way to explain it is it's like friction, the grass. She just can't force herself to move through it. So we're back here in the short stuff this morning, and it's going to be another short session, and we're going to make it fun. Going to try to get some high energy out of her. Good dog. Heel. Good. Come on. Good. Come on. Come on. Good dog. You. No. Heel. Good. Just going to start out by establishing a simple little trailing memory. Good. Good. Sit. Sit. Good. I gotta be real clear. I want her to sit. Go back. Good dog. Good. Nice little start. Good dog. Come on. Come on. A little loose on the delivery. We're not going to correct that. We'll just fix it when she gets here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good. Hold. Hold. Get that in there. Good. Very good. Great way to start out. Good dog. Did. Good. Good. Heel. Oh, good dog. Come on. Come on. Heel. Come on. Heel. Come on. Heel. Good. I want her right next to me before we turn, because I want to give her a line. No. Heel. Come on. Come on. Good. Good. Very good. I'm going to stop her out a ways this time. I'm going to call her to me. Good. Good. Go back. Good. Good girl. Very good. Good. Much better delivery. Good. Hold. That's it. Did. Good dog. Very good. That was real nice. Heel. Heel. What I liked about it was her willingness and kind of excitedness to come to me. Heel. She didn't quite sit, which I'll probably ask her to sit this time. You could see when she stopped, she almost started to spin around. That's real good. She's anticipating this drill. She's kind of memorizing what we're doing. Come on. What's going to be important is, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. That's it. I'm going to lengthen this one out a little bit. Come on. No heel. And put a little more length on it. Good. Real good sit to the whistle. What's going to happen is she's going to get really good at it here. And then we're going to have to move to a new spot and see how she does in a new spot. But we're going to get it good here first. Good. No, no. Sit. Good. Go back. Go back. Good dog. Good. You can see she really thought about that. Very good. That's a good dog. Good. Good. Hold. Did. Very good. Very good. What I really liked about that was she's starting to think about it, develop a little bit of comfort with it. Hit, sit. She made some wrong decisions there. She came in, I stopped her the whistle, she almost turned and went back. In fact, she did go back, and we had to stop her and tell her, no, 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 not quite yet. She did, recalled her back to me, stopped her the whistle, told her to sit. As soon as she sat, then I got her back, and you could tell that second time she was hesitant to go back, because just 10 seconds before I told her, no, 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 don't do that. It wasn't that. It wasn't that I didn't want her to go back. It was that I didn't want her to go back on her own. And I wanted her to stop, and I wanted her to sit, and I wanted to do these things before it. And she figured it out, and it was really nice. So now I'm going to just add a little bit of variance to it. Instead of me walking out and pitching it every time, which is what we've been doing, I'm going to have her sit here remote. I'm actually going to, I'm going to try that. I'm going to see if I'm going to try it. I'm going to go out, I'm going to put the bumper out. I'm going to come back. I'm going to line her up. I'm going to send her, and I'm going to stop her on the way out and see if we can't get her to, she stopped really well coming in. I'm going to see if I can't stop her really well going out. If she does that well, I'll be done. Probably pushing it just a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. Heel. Come on. Come on. Good. Get a little practice, sit to the whistle there. I throw that and it drifts into the brush. I don't want it to be a hunt command drill. I don't want it to be where she has any hesitation of making the pick. So I'm gonna I'm gonna move it back out. I'm having a lot of problems with my left shoulder here this morning, so I look funny. It's because I can't lift my shoulder up. But so I'm cautious because everything is gonna have to be with my right hand. It's the only arm I can get up right now. I just can't get this one up without a lot of pain. So no, heel. Let's wheel her around. Come on. Good. Now I'm gonna let her get out about to that first T-post, and then I'm gonna stop her. Good. Cody. Sit, sit, sit. Good. Go back. Good dog. Very good. Excellent. Very good. Good. That's with just the right amount of correction and just the right amount of praise for this dog this morning. Good. Dead. That was real nice. Now, that'll be it. Here. Under control. Sit. That'll be it for back casting this morning. That was great progress. I do think what I'm going to do is build off of that. I'm not going to do any handling. I'm going to go into this, and I may even turn the camera on for it, but I'm going to lengthen out this pasture's been mowed. It's a little bit taller than the outside because of the struggles that we had yesterday with this friction in any cover. She couldn't push out. I'm going to go into this stuff, and instead of using the line fence to send, I'm going to cut across at an angle. So I'm not going to send her along the line. I have a lot of confidence that with this line fence and the short grass, if I pitched a bumper 200 yards down that way and came this way, I could send her on that 200 plus yard retrieve and she'll take it because she's got the fence to guide her and she's got the short grass. The problem was when we got into a little bit taller grass and there was no guide anymore. So what I'm going to do is start to work towards getting her mind understanding. You got to run a straight line. You got to go a little bit longer, regardless of Dad took away the ruler. He took away that straight edge for me to help draw the line. I gotta do it freehand, but I gotta push through. So that's an analogy that I like. It's like giving these dogs a fence is like giving a kid a ruler to draw a straight line. It just helps them, makes it easy for them. So I'm gonna go and I'll put the camera in the corner, and then I'm just gonna set it up and we're gonna walk the angle and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing with it. I'm gonna do that with a couple of retrieves. It's a nice 125, 130 yards probably, at least, maybe 150 yards across diagonal. So it's forcing her to run diagonal instead of straight along straight edges. She's kind of out in the open of this field. I am gonna give her a point to aim at, which is the corner, and then it's a little bit longer. So it should help with her getting over this stickiness or these heavy boots that she has, weight that she feels when she goes through cover. Just slows her down and makes her want to hunt short, and I gotta fix that. Okay, I want to show you this. So normally I'd send the dogs down this line, or I'd send the dogs down this line. Use these fences as my guides. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to use that guideline. Instead, I'm going to go diagonal across to that corner. So I've got a corner right there, and so from here to there is a lot longer than from here down to the end of this, and it doesn't use this straight edge to help the dogs. So we're going to start out a bumper in front of you here. Sit. And I'm going to go back and send her on this one without any guide. We're going to aim it right at the camera. Then what I'm going to do is when she comes back, I'll be down there, I'll drop a bumper. I'll come back down to this end and send her back for it. I'll let her see that one. I'll send her back for it. Then what I'll do is when she comes back here, we're gonna heel back that way. This is after these two retrieves. We're gonna heel back that way, and I'm just gonna drop a bumper without her seeing it here. I'm gonna walk her down to that end. I'm gonna send her back on an unseen, back to the same spot. So I established it with a trailing memory. I've run it twice, this cornering or cutting across the field, and then I'm gonna send her basically without her knowing that there's one there, but hopefully trusting that I'm sending her to something and holding that line. This is where she has an issue, where she gets 30 yards away and she starts to hunt and she won't go any deeper because that's what she's used to, where she's used to getting fines. So heel. Come on. Come on. Come on, Cody. Come on. Good. Good. This little bit taller grass is perfect for this. Good. Come on. Because it's not too overwhelming to slow her down. Come on. Good. But it is tall enough to make it, so she's got to run through some cover. Angles can mess with dogs, so trying to get her to start working without the help of the straight edge. I don't know if that mic will pick up from this far or not. Come on. Come on.
And what actually happened is that we did lose the mic, so I'm going to give you a little voiceover. I get to the corner, I turn around, and I lined Cody back. She took this trailing memory no problem. It was set up very simply. And she pushed through what I'm calling cover, and the only reason I'm saying it's cover is because it's a little bit taller than where the fresh mowed stuff on the perimeters is. So it was one of her issues that she had the day before. She had problems going through some cover. It was a lot of drag on her. It slowed her down. She wouldn't take a good line. I just threw a denial or a distraction for her. As she comes up, it's going to turn into a denial. As she returned back to me, she delivered. But when she got about 30, 40 yards from me, I pitched a bumper. She looked at it, kind of marked it down, started to drift towards it. I finished her with a little whistle to me. She came. I took the delivery. I had her sit. I walk out now, and I pick it up myself. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just picking up that denial. That denial is going to come back into play, and you're going to see that in a little bit. Not intentionally. I didn't think it would or realize that it would, but it did. And it was good because it was a good opportunity for a learning situation a little bit further down in this training clip, and I do note it. So now what I'm doing is I'm just turning around and I'm walking back. I dropped a bumper. She saw it in the far corner. Again, this is just a big rectangle fenced in pasture, and I have been using the lines, and to this point now is the first time we're sending her across at an angle from one corner to the other. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it can be tough on a dog to do that. So I dropped one. She looked at it, turned around, came back. Pretty quick here. I'm going to come back into range with the microphone, and then you'll start to hear me pick it up from there. But there are a couple times where the microphone gets out of range and we lose it, so I'm just going to kind of do a voiceover for it.
Good. Heel. Good. Heel. We're going to send her back for this one. Another thing I like about this field is it crests, kind of goes up, peaks up and over, and you can't see the corner. So the dog's got to run up and over a little bit of a elevation change. Now when she gets out and over there and picks it, I'm going to drop a bumper here. I'm going to move forward and get her receive that one further ahead. I'm going to head right out, leave this as an unseen. She won't see it. Good. Cody. There she's fading just a little bit. See how she's fading to the right? Good! Good, the very end she faded out. Good, come on! She faded out for that diversion. So she came back looking for that diversion bird that I had thrown. Here! If that was there, she'd have switched likely. So that's why we pick it up. Good, hold. Very good. Very good. Dead. Good. So we got to work on her understanding when we say leave it, she's got to leave it. Heel. Now remember, I got an unseen out. She doesn't know about. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good. Heel. Come on. Good. Come on. My hope is we've imprinted this retrieve now twice. She's ran this trail twice. The third time when I send her and she doesn't know one's there, she trusts me and goes that distance, takes that line, finishes it out until she finds one. Somewhat out of memory of what we just ran. You can tell her memory's good. She remembered that diversion bird.
Here's where the audio goes out, and so now what I'm going to do is turn around and I line her back for this unseen. And when I send her, you can see her just a little bit over the crest. She ran right to that distraction. Went to make that retrieve on that bird that I had thrown on her return the last time. So I called her back right away. So that was stuck in her memory. I called her back. I walked forward about 20 yards. I lined her up and sent her. Here I sent her right now. And she started out okay, but you can see her making kind of an S shape right off the bat. She gets lost. I stopped her. I recalled her back to me. So it's clear that her believing me when I send her in a line through this angle, which is tough for her, she doesn't run a very good straight line yet. It's because we haven't been doing it for a while. So that's where the straight edge has helped us. But remember, it's only been a few days that we've had her. So I call her back to me, reset again. I walk forward. This time I probably take about 30, maybe 40 yards, and I cut the distance almost in half of what the original line was. Now remember, she does not know there's a bumper out there. She hasn't seen a bumper. I line her back to that familiar spot, and this time she takes it, and you can see it's kind of a little bit of a drifty line, and you're going to see here she's drifting, and all of a sudden, boom, there it is. So that was huge for her to build confidence, and you see in the background, I'm backpedaling as quick as I can without falling, calling her back to me to try to get back as close as I can to the original spot that I sent her from. So we added the distance on the return. We shortened it on the send because that was just too long of a line for her to take confidently and run straight. So we just helped her out. We walked closer too. Got to the point where she forgot about that memory, which was the distraction. She faded off on the second time. The third time, we heeled her back far enough to the original retrieve, which, remember, she's already made a retrieve in that spot. So we got her close enough that we sent her. She took the straight line. She took it straight enough to get into the area of fall, which was where we had left that bird, left that dummy before. And boom, all of a sudden she saw it and she went, oh my gosh, he's right. It is out here. Big confidence thing for her. You can see the confidence when she spins and runs back to me. Lack of confidence on the way out, lots of confidence going back. That's the kind of stuff that I need these dogs to experience and click so that they put it in the back of their head. So as I get a little bit closer, you're going to see that the audio kind of kicks back in here pretty quick, and then I kind of let it take it from there.
So I'm going to bring her back here. I'm going to walk her back to that corner and drop an unseen behind us. Heel. Good. Good. Heel. Heel. Come on. Come on. Come on. Heel. Come on. She saw it. That's okay. Come on. Come on. It's okay. I'm going to lengthen it out and get a real solid one off, and then we'll be done. Should make a long pick, put it in the back of her mind, and I'll go put her up.
Okay, so this one, I had thought that the dog saw the unseen. After watching the video, I'm not sure that she did, but either way, I left an unseen, or a maybe she kind of saw it out of the corner of her eye. I walked her down to the other end, and I went to resend her on it. I walked forward, and I resent her. And so when I resent her, she took the line. But you're going to see here, she stops halfway, and she turns and looks at me. The second she turned and looked at me, I gave her a whistle blast, and I threw my right hand up. And she stopped and looked, and then I gave her a go back, just like we've been working on in the drills leading up to this and earlier that day even. So part of the reason we wanted to show this was, I'm super excited at this point. I'm giving her a ton of praise, bringing her in, really jacked up about the idea of she just kind of transferred our go back training to a real drill, and it worked and helped us get out of a pickle in a setup that wasn't a back casting drill. This was not designed to do back casting. This was designed to lengthen out her lining, but we had to figure out how to use it. So what we ended up doing was, when she stopped like that, I was real reactive, quickly. I was excited actually, especially when she took the back. But what I think is important is the idea of when we line her out and she got hung up. At first, all the way out, her head was kind of drifting. The first time her head really drifted, and I recalled her and reset her. The second time she ran, her body continued to go a straight line, which goes back to these memories of doing this over and over again. And just prior to this, she had ran that successfully. Her head was kind of drifting, but her body pushed through. So that's a real sign to me that things are starting to click and make sense. When she popped on me and turned around and I backcast her, I really got excited. So then kind of the audio picks up here at this point.
And then all of a sudden she got about halfway, stopped, turned around and looked at me. And so I'm fine with it. I gave her a back cast, and she turned and kept going. Come on, come on. So it was real informal, but it was exactly what we've been working on over here with them getting back. Sit. So she did exactly what I would want her to do in that situation. She was unsure. She looked back. I said, get back. She turned and went, which I'm lucky a little bit that she did it. Part of it, I guess, is we prepared for it a bit. Didn't expect it right now, but she'd done it enough to go back to that habit, which is great. For me, the lesson is maybe that was a little bit too much for her. And I don't want to get myself in a pickle with these dogs before they are pretty proficient with handling. Don't set them up with such complications that if they get into trouble, you can't help them out because they don't know how to handle out of it. When I say handle out of it, I mean give them backs, give them lefts, give them rights. If they can't do that and understand that, don't put it into such a difficult scenario that you need it in order to find success, because you find yourself stuck. If she didn't go back, or she started to go left and right, I'd have recalled her back to me. Come got her, heeled her forward, cut the distance and sent her. But she did, and it worked out well, and quite honestly, we probably gained an awful lot in this session. Not only in the idea of running longer lines when they're seen, but when they're unseen, when she doesn't know. There was some trust built, and when she did see it, but wasn't like a normal memory that she would sit, kind of take a picture and memorize in her mind, she just saw me slip that thing out while we were walking, and I distracted her and tried to get her attention away from it. So she didn't really have a chance to really put it in and remember it. And by the time we got down there, it had faded even more. By the time I sent her, it was starting to fade as her head went like this all the way. Finally, she decided, I better check. Turned around at the halfway point probably, which was beyond where she normally would start to fade, hunt left and right. So excellent little morning for this dog. So that's it.